I'm off the rocky coast of Maine, heading toward the island of Matinicus, alone. My Egyptology professor, Dr. Hargrove, was always recounting his trips to northern Africa in the 1930s and his search for a mystical water clock from the dynasty of the pharaoh Ramses. The clock supposedly had powers to grant everlasting life. Claimed he found it once, but whatever Hargrove found mysteriously disappeared after a visit by the expedition's patron, Tess Conway. I've picked up the trail where Hargrove left off. It has led me to heiress Tess Conway's island estate. Tess was obsessed with the occult. Her greed drew her toward Duncan DeVries, the debonair two-bit smuggler. In its heyday, the Conway estate hosted wild, extravagant parties. It has been deserted for decades. Tess and her society friends disappeared in 1932 on the night of the summer solstice. I'm just getting my first glimpse of the house. The weather's getting worse, but I'm almost ashore. I fear my life may be in danger, but I have come prepared. That's strange. My watch has stopped.
Stay away from Tess. She's trouble. Real trouble. Duncan will tell you. Except, Duncan ain't what he used to be.
Help me. Help me. Please. Gather my spiritual essence from the different symbols which lie around this island.
I'm gonna need you down at the dock tonight. We're expecting another shipment of arms.
Well, boss, where am I gonna put all this stuff? I mean, the storage room is almost full. I can't even walk in there.
Guess you'll just have to stash it around the grounds.
Well, I don't like it. I mean, booze was one thing, but guns, I don't know.
Quit worrying, Mike. Our new associates from Chicago will be here this evening to take the guns off the island. They will pay us handsomely for the arms. They have new contacts. We can expand. This is only the beginning.
Welcome to the Conway Estate.
If you like to smoke, we must insist that you use the lounge in the West Wing. But whatever you do, don't go traipsing around downstairs with a lit cigarette, or Mr. DeVries will have hysterics. This is as far as we could drag it, sir. It wouldn't fit through any of the upstairs doors.
But Byron said it would fit. It's only 3 feet wide.
I believe he said 3 cubits wide, sir. A cubit is roughly the length of your forearm.
Fine. Then we'll open it right here.
Very well, I'll summon Miss Conway.
Oh, that won't be necessary, Robert. I want to surprise her.
She specifically wanted to be present when the crate was opened.
I thought I made myself clear.
You're not the master of this house.
Yet! But that'll change.
Should you require a meal, the dining room is located in the East Wing. However, I wouldn't recommend a tour of the kitchen. The chefs there are quite temperamental.
First look up and then look down. Never play with a naughty clown.
Your suite is upstairs in the West Wing. I'll have the maid make up your room.
right. This ritual will give me eternal life, but one slip up and I could join the pharaohs. No. There's no way this body is going to grow old. No way this mind will grow feeble. I was meant to be young. Finally, you have gathered together enough of my spirit so that I can communicate, but we must hurry. This entire island is trapped in time. Some, like myself, are spirits without a body. Others were less fortunate. They roam the island, poor, hapless zombies. No one can rest while the water clock exists. You must go quickly to the attic and destroy the water clock.
Once Tess performs the ritual, the power of the clock will be hers to command. How do I know she won't cast me aside? Perhaps I should perform the ritual. But then my soul would be lost forever. That's just too high a price to pay. Besides, she needs me.
Isis, wife of Osiris, daughter of Geb, and not hear my plea. Take the essence from my body and transfer it into these symbols, just as the parts of Osiris were scattered throughout Egypt. Osiris traveled the Nile sealed in a chest. So goes my heart in a similar box. Hear my words, leap like a mouse running in the field of reeds. He who is Khepri at dawn, Ra at noon, Atum at nightfall.
I've lived my whole life in the shadow of Tess, and now she wants to live forever! Well, I am not going to spend eternity with her.
You'll never believe this, but one of the maids mistook Miss Conway's Egyptian clock for a vase. She put flowers in it and filled the thing with water. It leaked all over the place. It's got more holes than Swiss cheese. We're just lucky the water didn't damage the floor.
Good Lord, Tess would be furious. You know, I think she loves that clock more than Duncan.
Yes, I've noticed that her interest in Mr. de Vries has waned since he obtained the clock for her.
You don't think there's a connection, do you? Oh, poor Duncan.
She was such a sweet child. I raised her. I kept her from harm. And now this rapscallion enters the picture and I'm swept aside after 20 years of service. This would have never happened if Dr. and Mrs. Conway were still alive. They should have never gone on that safari. Well, I can't live in the past.
visiting professor, so all these years of digging have finally paid off. Do you really think that it's the ancient water clock of Thoth? Oh, that's incredible! Byron tells me that it has mystical powers of rejuvenation. Really? On top of the sarcophagus? Oh, I can't wait to see it. 7 years? Why? But this is nothing like Tut! I would think that someone who had so generously funded your expeditions in the past would at least be afforded a little peek. I see. What a pity. Well, congratulations on your find. Keep in touch. Doddering old fool. I've given him a small fortune to traipse around dusty tombs in the hopes that he would find something like this, and now he turns bureaucratic on me. He won't even let me see the water clock, let alone have it.
Seems there's something in this world that Tess Conway wants, but can't have.
Don't tease me, Duncan. This clock is important to me.
You have an attic full of clocks.
Not like this one. Duncan? I'd do anything to get my hands on this clock.
Anything? This will be the perfect base for our operations. Not too far from the mainland, but private. And the Conway's name is like gold.
What makes you think that Tess is going to go along with it?
So long as I keep her in gin and relics, she'll keep her nose out of our business.
What makes you think a blue-blood dame like that is going to marry you?
She will, Mike. She will.
Yeah, well, just remember, you're just a common bootlegger. Hey.
Don't ever call me that!
I'm a businessman.
The water clock was made to slow or even reverse the aging process of a mummy. It was placed over the sarcophagus, and a few drops of the dead ruler's blood was used to activate it.
But how can I use it? I'm not about to be mummified and shoved into a box.
No, of course not. The clock should work for anyone who activates it, live or dead. The problem is that the effect is limited to a radius of, say, 6 feet.
Marvelous. So I either lug a 200-pound artifact around or remain glued to it forever.
Not necessarily. You see, the clock was built by Thoth to revive Osiris, who had been ripped to pieces and her body scattered all over Egypt by Seth.
Yes, I know the story. Get to the point.
We could concentrate the power of the clock with mirrors and tune it to cover the entire island by distributing parts of your body.
Are you insane? Do you think I'll allow myself to be hacked to bits to test your little hypothesis?
No, of course not. It's not your actual body. We'll use symbolic objects. It's a simple ritual to transfer your essence to an inanimate form. And then
I activate the clock. The island and everyone on it will join me for eternity. Oh, Byron, do you really think it can work?
what can it hurt to try?
Ma, you've been busy. I haven't seen you for the past 3 days.
I'm sorry, darling. I've been completely absorbed in researching the water clock.
So what have you found out? Is it worth anything?
It's absolutely priceless. But I'd never sell. By the way, what have you been up to? Robert tells me you've been meeting some questionable characters.
That's what I've been meaning to talk to you about. Tess, honey, I want to expand our operations.
Duncan, always scheming. I suppose you'll need some money.
It's not like that, Tess. I want us to be partners.
How nice. Partners. What a novel concept. This is so exciting, Byron. Just think, we'll never grow old.
I was sort of relishing the idea of growing old with you.
I've planned a grand party for tonight.
You know, I don't think anyone understands me the way you do.
I've hired a troupe of clowns to entertain us.
You've been so understanding, so kind.
We'll have a feast and dancing and plenty to drink.
I think I may be in love with you.
Is everything ready for tonight?
Yes, I think so. I'm still fine-tuning the range of the clock. Each portion of you must be carefully placed.
I hope no one saw you. What would happen if someone located these objects? They contain my soul.
Fear not. I had them carefully placed. I had Angela watching my back to see if anyone was following me.
So, Byron, where have you been lurking?
I've been helping Tess with her latest acquisition.
I thought you and Duncan didn't get along.
Not that acquisition. The clock. The Egyptian water clock.
Oh, what does it do?
Well, under normal circumstances, it keeps track of time by regulating the flow of water to a series of uniform drops.
You couldn't use it to make gin, could you?
No. This clock is special. By using blood instead of water, and by reciting a few simple incantations, Tess hopes to envelop us in a mystical force that will slow the aging process.
Do you think you could slow down my aging process and speed up hers?
Well, no.
Oh, pity.
Lydia, you're up late.
I just couldn't sleep. I must look wretched.
On the contrary, you look radiant.
You think so? No, you're just saying that.
No, I always thought you were very attractive.
But not as pretty as Tess.
Don't bet on it.
Really? I thought you were in love with her.
Lydia, I'm worried. Tess doesn't seem the same lately. She's been very distant, very secretive. I don't know who to talk to. You don't know what's going on, do you?
Oh, Duncan, I wish I could tell you.
Tell me what?
It's Tess and Byron.
Tess and Byron? Be serious.
No, not like that. Tess and Byron are scheming together.
What? Tell me.
Well, I can't really say, but it has something to do with that water clock you obtained for her.
What about the clock?
Duncan, can't you see she's just using you?
Using me? How?
Oh, I can't tell you, someone's coming.
So, Byron, what's this water clock all about?
Well, it probably dates to the early dynastic period of Egypt. It's quite interesting if you think about it. When my ancestors were rooting about in the bogs.
That's very interesting, Byron, but what does it do?
Oh, I see. Well, in layman's terms, it tells time.
I know that. It's a clock. But I mean, does it have any special properties?
Special properties? I don't think I follow.
Listen, you little worm. Tess wants that clock, and I want to know why.
Oh, those properties. Well, there are those who believe it has the ability to suspend time, granting eternal youth to all within its influence. It was first designed by the followers of Anubis, the jackal god.
Tell me why she wants the clock.
Oh, well, if you must know, she and I plan to use it to suspend time. Now let go of me. I have nothing more to say to you.
Wait. You and Tess just want to play mad scientist with this lost artifact? Is that what the secret is?
Laugh if you must. When the water clock is activated, Tess and her friends will be immortal. And you what will you be?
So, how's my little scientist? Are you finished with the Hall of Mirrors?
Almost. I've taken every mirror on the estate. Duncan is becoming quite curious. He's asking a lot of questions. I'm afraid he might interfere with our plans.
I can handle Duncan. He served his purpose. It's time I let him down gently.
No, it's too soon. She was supposed to wait. No!
Miss Conway is fond of entertainment, so the house never sleeps. At any one time, you'll find someone in the ballroom.
Oh, I could dance all night.
I can hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan, darling, never leave my
Why
side.
would I want to do that? You're every woman I've ever dreamed of. I've never met anyone like you.
That's because there is no one like me.
This place must have cost you a pretty penny.
My parents built it back in 21. I was the sole heir to the estate.
Ah, so that must have mean they passed on.
Yes, they were killed in a safari in Africa.
Oh, how terrible.
Let's go for a swim. How exciting, Professor!
ravishing, Tess, as always. One would never guess how old you really are.
Why, thank you, Lydia. And you've managed to hide all trace of your late-night carousing.
I was out late, wasn't I? With the rest of the youth. Oh, listening to Duncan's stories, drinking from his starry eyes.
That's not all you were drinking from. But I suppose you can't help it. You have inherited your father's penchant for alcohol.
Please, leave Daddy out of it.
I'm sorry. Poor darling. It was a tragic death. Did they ever manage to find the body?
No. The current must have swept it away when his car went over the bridge. Why are you laughing?
I just can't believe that he actually managed to wipe out an entire crew of racers as they rode down the Charles River. It must have been quite a sight.
Dad never liked to drink alone.
And your mother's reaction? Not a tear. She just up and joined the Women's Christian Temperance Union. Duncan wouldn't be in business if it weren't for them.
Yes, well, he'd better hope she doesn't show up here with her prohibitionists.
We just have to lock them up in the wine cellar.
Ooh! What a curious thing. What do you suppose it means?
Lydia, don't you know anything? It's for playing shuffleboard.
I thought it was another one of Tessa's magic symbols.
Well, a mathematician would call it magical. You see, each row, column, and diagonal adds up to 15.
Byron, you can be such a bore sometimes.
You know, I had a dickens of a time with those bugs. I sent an exterminator into the cellar, but he never came back.
Hey, gorgeous. How you do?
Hiya, Mikey. Caught any intruders?
Nah, but I wouldn't mind catching a little redhead.
Ah, knock it off, Mike.
Sorry, I just hate to see a beautiful dame go to waste.
You think I'm beautiful?
Are you kidding? You are a goddess. You are like a moonbeam. You're like the stars. You're like scrambled eggs. Sorry, I just love scrambled eggs.
Just wish Duncan felt the same way.
Hey, you don't want to get mixed up with Duncan. Besides, I thought he and Tess were going to get married.
Oh, Tess won't marry anybody. She doesn't have to. She already has everything she wants.
That's the truth.
What?
Nothing. How about a drink?
Ooh, I'd love one. Every bottle in this house is empty.
Well, I know where Duncan keeps a little stash. Oh, you better bundle up. It's going to be getting cold.
I say, Robert, you haven't been meddling with my specimens, have you?
What specimens were these, Mr. Fleming?
In particular, my dung balls.
You mean those little clots of manure?
Those clots of manure, as you call them, were once pushed by the scarab beetles of Amun-Ra.
Well, they have ample followers now.
Why do you say that?
I dispatched them to the sewer.
Would you get me a plunger, Robert?
I'm but a humble servant, Miss Tewksbury, but I have served you and Miss Conway since you were children.
Yes, yes, Robert, go on.
It is possible that your concern for Mr. De Vries may not be deserved.
Why is that?
I don't think Mr. De Vries has Miss Conway's best interest in mind. In fact, I think he's only interested in her money.
Robert, everyone is after Tessa's money. That's why she keeps us here.
Miss Conway, I'm quite concerned about you.
Why is that, Robert?
Since your parents passed on, you've been taking up with a dark crowd. Oh, the parties and the merriment are only natural for a young lady. But your fascination with time and ancient things are quite irregular. And now that you're...
Poor dear Robert. You miss our old life, don't you?
It's not just that. Tess, dear child, why do you associate with this De Vries character? He's not of your ilk.
Duncan is my friend, Robert. He gets me things.
It's exactly those things that worry me. He's building an arsenal in the storeroom.
Please, Robert. I'm tired.
And there are gangsters in the garden.
Well, hand them some pruning shears. The hedge is atrocious.
So, Robert, tell me, what do you think of Mr. De Vries?
Well, it's really not my place to comment on Miss Conway's associates.
No, of course not.
But since you're practically a member of the family...
Yes, yes, do go on.
Well, I don't trust the man. Tess met him a scant 6 weeks ago, and he already acts as if he owns the place.
I've known Tess for 5 years.
And that crude little friend of his he brought in to guard the estate. The estate never needed guarding before.
She hardly notices me when Duncan is around.
And that riffraff that he invites out to these garish parties.
What could she possibly see in him? He's hardly an intellectual.
If it weren't for my devotion to the Conways, I think I'd leave.
Well, it's been nice talking to you, Robert.
Oh, always a pleasure, Mr. Fleming.
Here on this island, lonely and dark, I feel the ocean drowning my heart. Time has not moved us quite as it should have, and if it should stop, I hope I'll live in your thoughts. Without you near me, I have no home. Without your love, I'm alone on this cold stone. I sit just hoping that you will soon be here beside me, best of all friends. We'd be so joyous, or will time not mend? I need your sweet hand to walk to the stars, but I know I may lose you again. If we meet after death, I know even heaven's caress won't compare to my love. And so I hope madly that we can be happy. But if I should die without seeing your eyes, I will call out to you from afar. From afar. From afar.
close to me. Let's play a game. I'll give you a clue you think of its name, and then look for the object, and when it is found, you'll be one step closer to leaving this ground. Two fish that you could walk with. Two lofty trees, which you'll find well in hand. Two harmless animals for each leg of your journey. 2 weapons of warfare to hold your own again. A globe that will get you ahead. A vessel gone wide to thin controls the flow of gin. "32 pillars that shine when you lift the roof." A lisping rodent. Rows of yellow soldiers who ironically cannot hear. Some tasty shellfish to pick you up. A box in which you might take heart. out of the moon, body of a man, head of a baboon.
The most remarkable thing about it is that it doesn't look like a clock at all. It's almost feminine in form. Its wide middle echoing a woman's hips, and the two handles reaching up, suggesting arms reaching to heaven.
And the figurehead is clearly Thoth. This has to be it.
I'm certain of it.
Damn things, they're impossible to kill.
That was an exceptionally large Blatta orientalis, very thick carapace. I'd try roasting it on the end of your cigarette.
Not bad. Test, 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 test.
Upon this time trap dial, where time has ceased to be, if you must know why, you'd better pay heed to me. This is a place so cruel, across a darkened sea. You would be a fool to come and challenge me. This is the end for you. You never will be free. You won't have a clue for the rest of eternity. This is a place so cruel, across a darkened sea. Well, I'm warning you to stay away from me. You never will escape, no matter what you try to do. If you try to run away, we'll turn you into barbecue. Don't stand around and wait, no one will listen to your cry. You will meet your fate while on this time trap dial. This is the end for you. You never will be free. You won't have a clue for the rest of eternity. This is a place so cruel, across a darkened sea. Well, I'm warning you to stay away from me. Upon this time trap dial, where time has ceased to be, if you must know why, you'd better test.
night.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan, darling, never leave my side.
Why would I never do that? You're every woman I ever dreamed of. I've never met anyone like you.
That's because there is no one like me. There is no one like me.
The clock should work for anyone who activates it, live or dead.
Are you insane?
Will use symbolic objects.
The island and everyone on it will join me for eternity.
The clock.
Oh, I could dance all night.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan, darling, never leave my side.
Why would I never do that?
Isis, wife of Osiris, daughter of Geb, and not hear my plea. Take the essence from my body and transfer it into these symbols, just as the parts of Osiris were scattered throughout Egypt. Osiris traveled the Nile sealed in a chest. So goes my heart in a similar box. Hear my words, leap like a mouse running in the field of reeds. He who is Khepri at dawn, Ra at noon, Atum at nightfall. Oh, I could dance all night.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan, darling, never leave my side.
Why would I never do that? You're every woman I ever dreamed of. I've never met anyone like you.
This is so exciting, Byron. Just think, we'll never grow old.
I was sort of relishing the idea of growing old with you.
I've planned a grand party for tonight.
You know, I don't think anyone understands me the way you do.
I've hired a troupe of clowns to entertain us.
You've been so understanding, so kind.
Oh, I could dance.
This will be the perfect base for our operations. Not too far from the mainland, but private. And the Conway's name is like gold.
What makes you think that Tess is going to go along with it?
So long as I keep her in gin and relics, she'll keep her nose out of our business.
What makes you think a blue-blood dame like that is going to marry you?
She will, Mike. She will.
Yeah, well, just remember, you're just a common bootlegger.
Oh, I could dance all night.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan, darling, never leave my side.
Why would I never do that? You're every...
I place my last drop of life into this vessel. But I will pass not into the field of reeds. My body, scattered like that of Osiris, will keep time in its place. I will wait until I am whole again. Let Duncan live, but let him be cursed by the evil of Seth. Let him feel the power he craves until it has driven him mad. Oh, I could dance all night.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan, darling, never leave my side.
Why would I never do that? You're every woman I ever dreamed of. I've never met anyone like you.
That's because there is no one like me. There is no one like me.
The clock should work for anyone who activates it, live or dead.
Are you insane?
Will use symbolic objects.
The island and everyone on it will join me for eternity.
The clock.
Oh, I could dance all night.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan.
Where is she, boss?
I don't understand it. She was right here.
You're sure she was dead?
Of course she was dead. You idiot. I left my dagger right in her chest.
That ain't gonna look too good.
That's why we're here. What was that?
I don't know. Maybe it was Tess.
It came from the attic. You check it out, Mike.
What is it? Ah!
Oh, I could dance all night.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Tess, my darling, we're not getting any younger.
We will be soon. Nothing. I really must get ready for tonight.
That's I was thinking. Maybe we could...
Yes? Could what?
Maybe we could get married.
Could get married. Married? Why on earth would I want to get married?
You said you wanted to be with me for eternity.
Eternity, yes, but not as your wife. I don't belong to anyone or anything.
Well, what about our plans? We were going to build an empire. We were going to put this place on the map.
To use up my fortune funding smugglers and gangsters? No, Duncan. Be realistic.
You didn't seem to mind smugglers so much when they got you your precious clocks or your booze for your parties.
They serve their purpose, but that doesn't mean I'd marry one.
It's not good enough for you, is that it?
Oh, come on. Tess Conway and a scheming little bootlegger. You're hilarious. You know, sometimes I think you're actually serious. Be a dear and fetch me another gin and tonic. And I want you looking sharp tonight. Byron and I will be unveiling a little surprise.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan, darling, never leave my side.
Why would I never do that? You're every woman I ever dreamed of. I've never met anyone like...
Beware of Duncan. He's no longer just a man. He's possessed by the evil force of the Egyptian god, Seth. Oh, I could dance all night.
Hold you in my arms forever.
Duncan, darling, never leave my side.
Why would I never do that? You're every woman I ever dreamed of. I've never met anyone like you.
That's because there is no one like you.
You. I should have killed you when I had the chance. I'm such a fool.
Upon this time trap dial, where time has ceased to be, if you must know why, you'd better pay heed to me. This is a place so cruel, across a darkened sea. You would be a fool to come and challenge me. This is the end for you. You never will be free. You won't have a clue for the rest of eternity. This is a place so cruel, across a dark